Skip the overnight soak. Here is a foolproof way to get perfect pinto beans in less than 2 hours. And we're going to be using my favorite device, the Instapot. Hello! Welcome to the Wellness Kitchen. I'm your host, Mandy. As you can see, the Wellness Kitchen is a normal person's kitchen. Mine. I cook meals for my family and I'm enjoying taking you along. I cook real food with real ingredients for real people at real budget tactics. In every episode, you'll get to see what's in my fridge and pantry and how I make nutritious meals out of things like leftovers. So let's get started on today's episode, perfectly cooked pinto beans. They're nice and creamy, they're tender but not mushy, and the best part is they're allergen-free, budget-friendly, and packed with protein. In fact, for a busy week, they tend to be my lifesaver because I can cook a big pot for real cheap. Ingredients we'll be using today. I have my choppings of poblano as well as onions. We have some chile guajillo powder that I ground myself. And don't worry about that. I'll teach you guys how to dry and ground it yourself as well. Very cheap. Next we have the Better Than Bouillon. My favorite tends to be Consmate, but unfortunately Walmart and myself are completely out. So we're going to be using this today. Of course, we'll be using the pantry staple garlic powder. Now, you'll get a better flavor if you mince fresh garlic, but I'll admit I'm in a hurry at the moment, so I'm going to be using this today. Wait, where is it? Oh yeah, here it is, the cumin. Cumin is a very important flavor because we're choosing to do Mexican style today. Now this next ingredient is very important if you want your beans to be a little bit on the spicy side. That's something we enjoy in our family, but it's totally optional. These are dried Thai chilies and you can get them at any Walmart. I've dried them myself and don't worry about it. I'll show another video on how you can do that later. You've seen the ingredients. Now let's get to prepping that onion. So when I looked in my pantry, I noticed I only had one yellow onion left. Yeah, have you ever had one of those weeks? Let me know in the comments below. So I decided to take a deep breath, count to 10, and just kind of think about what I can do with this onion. So I decided to cut it in half and use half of the onion for the pinto beans and the other half for the black beans that I'm going to cook. Oh yeah, I have my little bowls to help me keep my cutting board clean. I cannot stress enough, you guys, on how important it is to keep your area and your workstation clean. It's going to minimize cuts, it's going to minimize injury, so just keep it as a good practice. And this includes making sure that your knife is clean. Whenever you're working with slippery vegetables or sticky vegetables, you want to give your knife a good wipe down when you're done. And there you have it. Half of our onion is ready to go. Last night I noticed that we also only had one more poblano pepper left. Yeah, I did mention it was one of those weeks. So what I did was I halved the poblano and I saved half for the pinto beans and half for the black beans. Now ideally you're going to want to have one onion and at least half a poblano pepper. But again, it depends all on how much spice you want in your beans. Choppings are ready to go. I absolutely love, whoop, my bad. So I love these little teeny bowls. They're extremely helpful in keeping the station clean and keeping your ingredients organized. So I'll put a link below on bowls that are similar to mine if you want to take a look. On to the measuring and rinsing beans phase. Now for this particular pot, I'm going to be using 2 cups or 1 pound of dried beans. And I'll show you how I personally like to rinse them. While the beans are under running water, I was always taught by my grandmother to grab hold of the beans and kind of just shift them around in your hand. Kind of the same concept that you rub your hands together when you're washing them. We're ready for the Instapot. So my Instapot has a very nifty feature, and that is saute. If your Instapot has this, then just push the saute button and then you get to saute the vegetables within the Instapot. If you don't have this feature on your Instapot, no worries. You'll just have to saute on the stove. Now we're going to take the olive oil and we're going to use the cap of the extra virgin olive oil as a measurement. So fill the cap with olive oil and dump it in the middle of the Instapot. Now this is something else that's kind of interesting. If your oil stretches out and occupies the sides, then you know that your Instapot is hot enough to start sauteing your vegetables, which it looks like the Instapot is ready. So let's dump in the vegetables and start sauteing. When it comes to sauteing your vegetables, you're going to be looking for a translucent or see-through kind of quality. It's easier to see this in the onions than it is the peppers. The peppers are just going to look kind of semi-firm but mushy, limp. It's much easier to pay attention to the onions. So once the onions are a little bit see-through, then you're on your way to getting the garlic powder. Now, as regards to the garlic powder, you just want to sprinkle enough garlic powder to kind of coat the bottom and then mix it in with your veggies. Now, if you see some caking of the garlic powder, no worries, no panicking. We're going to be using a little bit of water to deglaze the pan for that very reason. Give it a good stir, and pretty soon you'll see the caking of the garlic powder start to break up. Now let's put in the bouillon and give it a good mix again. You're going to be looking for the bouillon to be fully dissolved. You're going to want to keep your Instapot in saute mode for this whole duration, because now I'm going to show you a hack that has done wonders for my beans. I'm not entirely sure why it works, but it enhances the flavor tenfold. Typically for the saute water, you're going to want to use about 1/4 cup, but I noticed that there was a little more water in the pitcher that I expected, so I decided just to let it boil off. While it is reducing or boiling off, it's a fancy term for it, I decided to make the best use of the time from the little mishap on the water measurement and put in the ground guajillo chili powder now. And if you want measurements, no worries. I'll make sure that this video is linked to the short that tells you what the recipe is. As you can see, the majority of the water has been reduced down, or it's been boiled down. And now we're going to add our dried Thai chilies. Now on to the hack. Going to add our rinsed pinto beans, and this is going to be kind of like a pre-cook of the pinto beans. I know it sounds crazy, but if you dump these pinto beans while you're sauteing the remainder of that flavorful water, the beans kind of get pre-soft in a way. You'll notice that they'll get kind of wrinkly. This is honestly what has helped the beans absorb as much flavor as possible. So there you have it. That's my hack. After a good mix, you want to make sure that the pinto beans are fully incorporated with the rest of the ingredients. Here, let me show you guys. You'll notice at the bottom of the Instapot, there's still a little bit left of that flavor water, but that's nothing to worry about. Now, let's add the water for the high pressure cook. You're going to want to use the pressure cook button and make sure that it's cooking on high pressure. Oh yeah, just a reminder, the Instapot saves your last cooking setting. I cooked white rice earlier, so I had to change the setting to beans, which was, in this case, we're gonna high pressure cook for 45 minutes and natural release for at least 25. These beans look so delicious. Anyway, if this video has helped you out at all, then feel free to like the video, subscribe, or share with your friends. Thank you again for joining me in my kitchen. Bye, guys.